All right. All right.
Let's Talk Real Estate Show. Each and every Wednesday and Friday, 10 to 11 a.m. right here at AM 1400. We're going to be going over the selling process, the buying, and yes, investment properties. Stay tuned for the show. Let's talk.
All right. Good morning, Las Vegas. Greg DeVille back in the studio one more time, live on Facebook. I want to welcome many of you to what we do all the time. We talk real estate, loans, and home ownership. And we're excited to have with us again, back by popular demand, Miss Usila Koech. And so we're excited to have you. Good morning, Usila. How are you doing?
Good morning. Good morning. It's great to be back to talk loans and real estate.
Yes,
Thank you.
absolutely. So we're going to give her a moment to give out her MLS number. We know that's important to lenders.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so my name is Usila Koech. My NMLS number is 408740.
All right, and I'm Greg DeVille. I'm the broker owner at DeVille Realty Group. My license number is B1001887, and I'm a Nevada State broker. And we love what we do. We're having fun helping families. This is just what we do. We're excited about it to share more great information. Get a pen, tell a friend. Greg DeVille's back on the radio once again. He's got a beautiful guest with him that's sharing wonderful information to help the many of you get involved in owning your own piece of the American dream. And that's real estate. Now, remember, equity is increasing right now as values are increasing. So what does that mean for you? I just got a call from a lady as I was driving to the studio. She asked me, Mr. DeVille, my mortgage is not looking where I've gotten behind. I'm nervous. I said, well, she says, the bank has given me a promise that, they will work a forbearance, but I'm in default. She said, I'm nervous. She said, I think I want to sell the home. I said, you know what? Let's sell it. If you desire to sell your home, let's sell your home, save your equity. Because if you get a foreclosure from the bank, that equity is done. Now, someone told me that the banks would send it back to you. However, if you've received a check and you're hearing me, you call me and let me know. But even if the bank were to send a balanced check from the foreclosure, how long would it take? A year, 2 years? Because homes can sit a year, 2 years before the bank really deals with that property if it doesn't sell at the auction block. So now we could sell it, give your equity within 30, 40 days. So can you imagine if you're behind receiving a balanced check, let's say $140,000? Well, we've done that. There's a family right now, Usila, that I got, we're going to be putting that home on the market. They have over $400,000 in equity.
That is great.
Wow.
That is awesome.
Wow. That's, whatever I don't care if it's $60,000.
It's your money.
It's your money. So don't let the bank foreclose on your home. We wanted to talk about that for a moment because there are many who lost their jobs. Usually I was going down Rancho a few days ago, and I passed the Texas Casino and the Fiesta, and they boarded up. All of those jobs, all those employees that were there, they've got to have, most of them have had to have been ownership, have owned property, but they don't have a job. And so what does that do to a person who loses their job and now about to lose their home? But again, you may have equity in it. So if you're going to lose it, if you're more than 90 days behind, you should be receiving mail from the foreclosure department. The foreclosure department will be sending you notices. Now remember, if they're going to foreclose, they're going to be sending you notices in the mail. Read your mail. Open those letters, because if there's a sale date, what's going to happen is they could very well sell it on the auction block. Now, let me say, I know you've been speaking with the bank and you've been talking to your bank. Listen, even though you're speaking with your bank, understand the foreclosure department did not speak with your bank. So although the bank has made a promise, foreclosure knows nothing about it. So the left hand doesn't know what the right hand is doing. And so you very well want to make sure that you're getting the proper information. Contact DeVille Realty Group. Get a pen. Tell a friend. 702-515-4100. Greg DeVille, live on radio right here at AM 1400. This is what we do each and every Friday, live on Facebook at 10 a.m. Many of you have heard my show. Many of you have heard what we do in the community. I want to make sure that you're telling a friend for us. Would you do that?
Yes.
Tell a friend to look us up. These are on Facebook. You can always go to Greg DeVille on Facebook, and you'll find all these recordings where we've helped or we're helping right here in the community. So today we brought on with us again, second time in a row. She came on with more great information, and we were discussing. I said, well, come share that with the audience again. Yeah. So there's some new things that were handed down. We just want to share those things with you. We think that they may help you. If not you, maybe someone you know. So let's see what Usila's got for us today. Surprise me with some good stuff baking in the oven. What do you have?
Okay, so today, good morning again. My name is Usila Koech. I'm a loan officer here in Las Vegas for over 18 years. Fannie Mae has a new program called Refi Now.
Refi Now.
So what Greg was talking about, if you've lost your job and you have to sell, you don't necessarily have to sell at a foreclosure. You speak to the real estate agent, speak to Greg DeVille's team, and they'll be able to help you to sell it on as a regular sell, because you have equity on them, you don't want to lose them. But if you have a job and you have high interest rates, Refi Now program allows up to 65% debt to income ratio. You heard me right. 65% debt to income ratio.
Oh, wow.
Loan to value up to 97%. And it's very, you have to have payments a year out, so you have to have made your payments on time for 12 months.
12 months, okay.
12 months on time.
Right.
And so it's a great program. It's geared towards to help people lower their payments, even though your debt to income ratio, so with the pandemic, your income situations might have changed.
Right.
So what you made last year, or 2018, 2019, you're now making that amount now.
Right.
So you can still afford your payment and you can make it on time.
Right.
But your interest rate is higher. So this program is called Refi Now, allows you to be able to refinance and lower your payments.
Right. Now, there is a FICO score associated with that. Is that correct? What is
Correct.
that? Right, because I just did a refi, and the scores were predicated
It's a
on
minimum of 620.
620.
For
620.
the Refi Now program.
Oh,
yes,
my. Oh, my. The phone should be ringing. 702-515-4100. Give us a call. We can set you up with Usila. And that's, wow. That's really,
it's a great program. It allows for homeowners to be able to retain their homes. It allows them to stay in the same home where their kids go to the same school district.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many benefits of being in the same place that you've been. One thing humans like is they're creatures of habit. So kids go to school, the same school. So if your interest rates are higher and you're looking to lower those, we have this program for you, and it's called Refi Now with Fannie Mae.
Okay, that's good stuff. Now, those of you that are listening and you own a home already now, remember, but you have to not miss the payment in the 12-month cycle. So if you miss the payment, this won't help. However, if you miss more than 3 payments, you going into your 4th payment of delinquency, you very well may be on a foreclosure list. Sure. Now, keep in mind, you want to make sure you're reading your mail, because if you get a sale date for foreclosure, what's going to happen is it will go to the auction block, and the next couple voices you'll hear from will be either a realtor or the new purchaser of your property. Now, you will have to vacate that property. You will have to move out because you can get evicted. When there's a new owner on a property, the current tenant has no right to the property unless they were in a lease with the previous owner.
Correct.
The only time a new buyer of a real estate that you've been renting can acknowledge your stay is for a lease. Let me make that clear. If you're not in a lease, a new buyer can come in and purchase your home, and you can get evicted. How do I know this? Just did it this week. Had to evict, and I begged the guy to get out of the house. I said, listen, there's a new owner. It's like a new sheriff in town. You can't expect the new sheriff to do what Lombardo's doing, right? Lombardo he ran Metro this way. There's a new sheriff in town. Here's what we're handing down. And I'm telling you, you can get evicted. Please cooperate with the realtor. Because have I had to do it before? It's a business. It's not personal. And I may know you, but I have to evict you. And I'm asking, tell your friends. If you hear your friends saying, man, they're selling the home I am, well, did you find somewhere to go? Because you know you've got to get out of there. I heard Greg DeVille say they had to evict someone. Now, it's not it's not a fun thing. And if you know that landlord told you you're going to sell, start boxing up every week. Start boxing things up. Don't wait till the last minute. Then you rushing and packing and trying to get out of there. We had to put a family out this week, and their things had to go to the curb. Very unfortunate situation. You had to go out to the curb. The new owners needed their home. and you procrastinated and you waited, and guess what? Now you're evicted and you're at the curb. We could have prevented this because you were asked some time ago to put your things together and prepare to relocate. Maybe you can't find anywhere to go, and we certainly sympathize. But the reality on the Greg DeVille Show is I got to keep it 100 with you. The fact is, you've got to relocate out of that house. I don't care where you go, you got to get out of here. So that's tough information, but it's good information, because if you're one of those tenants and the landlord said he's selling, just know, unless he gets someone to purchase that property who is an investor, if he tells you I'm opening escrow and it's not an investor, start packing up. Usila, yes. I'm trying to make sure I share it on every radio platform I have. These landlords are beginning to sell. I'm getting phone calls to sell these rental homes, not just their personal, because they want to keep their personal. The rental was an investment property, and what are they doing? They're cashing out because there's equity. I could use my equity for what I'm trying to do over here. Now, unless, again, you're in a lease, they have to acknowledge to the duration of the lease. But again, if you're not in a lease, you're a month to month, and the landlord is selling the property, you will have to move out, whether you like it or not. Don't get an eviction on your credit. An eviction is worse than, man, that's worse than being your car being repoed. You know your car being repoed is terrible. Yes.
And credit is everything.
It's everything.
I mean,
it's everything.
Really is.
Now, is there home ownership after an eviction? Absolutely. I've got the lender right here to assure you of that. Yes. There is after an event. I just met a gentleman yesterday. Unfortunately, his wife passed away, and so he's an older gentleman, and so he's going to move back to Washington. He says, "Look, my baby was all I was here for, and she's gone, and he says there's no need for me to stay in Vegas, So he's moving back. We're going to sell the property. One of the things about that is he was sharing with me, he said, when I bought this home several years ago, I had just had an eviction. He said, I was evicted out of my house then. He said, I want to never be evicted again. So he was a veteran. He called and got approved and purchased a home. So there is a life after eviction.
Yes.
But don't push the envelope.
No. But don't push it.
Yeah.
At the same time, you have to have a plan.
Absolutely.
To get yourself ready to
Absolutely.
be able to purchase.
Absolutely. Good morning, Anthony Nixon. Good to see you, my man. Appreciate the many of you that are tuning in this morning. Fred, good to have you today. Nicole Bryant, always good to have you coming on and listening to our talk show. Sykes, thank you, sir. Thank you for tuning in. My lovely wife, the lovely, beautiful Marquetta DeVille, is tuned in.
Hello, Mrs. DeVille.
Yes. So, listen, we're having fun sharing information with you. Right now, we have loan products, and we have a lender in-house to share with us some of the lending product that's available as far as it comes to you getting a loan. What are some of the requirements? Somebody says, well, my credit isn't good. The lowest you can go is what in getting into a loan, Miss Linder?
For our company, it's 620 for some lenders.
620.
Some lenders go up to 580.
580.
For
Okay.
FHA.
Okay.
But we also have Genoa. So Genoa,
yeah.
Greg is a big fan of Genoa,
Yeah,
and I am
yeah,
too.
yes.
So we do for down payment assistance. You still have Home is Possible.
Right.
You have Home is Rural, and then you have Genoa. So, like right now, I have two clients that we're closing. One is Genoa, actually with Greg DeVille.
Yes.
And we have another client with Home is Possible that didn't think that they were able to buy. She's been renting for 20 years, and she just didn't think that she would be able to save enough money for closing costs and down payment. And with the down payment assistance program, Home is Possible, she's able to put her money, the money that she had saved, but then use the down payment assistance program for closing costs.
There you go.
That's really exciting.
There you go. And so that one program, and we want to keep the people kind of on the edge, but we have a program that'll give you 5%. And with that 5%, I'm not going to tell you who it is. I need you to contact us. We're going to give you more details. 702-515-4100. But listen, so this program offers 3.5% towards your down, 1.5% towards your closing. Guess what? So if your closing was $9,000, guess what? It's only $4,500. So that program, you got to call us to get details on it. 702-515-4100. We'll set you with Usila to get more information on it. But guess what? This is great because maybe you have a credit score of that 620 or better. And of course, that's always good. here's the thing. I was in an event last week, and I want to talk about this for a second because the lady it was probably a room of 40 women. It was a breast cancer. And shout out to Alicia, who invited me as a guest speaker. She said, I was thinking, so a guest speaker at a breast cancer event for women, it was a luncheon. And I thought, okay, well, I'll sure, I'll come. Wasn't sure how to, that, but she gave me the floor. And as you know, you give me a mic, I'm going in. One lady asked, well, I hear you talking about if people need assistance with down payment, but what are the interest rates? I said, that's a very good question. I'm glad you asked, because when you pay rent, you're paying 100% interest rate, right? 100%, whether you know it or not. When you pay rent, you're paying 100% interest rate with no ROI. What is that? No return on investment. So that means when you move out, although the value is increased in the house, you get none of that because the owner does. Guess what you get when you move out? Whatever that deposit was minus $300. So if it was $2,000, you'll get $1,700. But you've paid $50,000, $60,000, $80,000 while you've been renting, but you get $1,700 back. Now, so she asked, what is the interest rate? I don't know. She was just kind of combative with me on this whole day. But I had something for her. So she says, well, the interest rates must be high. I said, so based on 100% on renting, if I sold you a home with a 6% interest rate, how does that sound? People in the room says, oh, wow, 100 to 6%. They were like, I don't know, Miss Lady, you might have barked up the wrong tree on that one. So I said, listen, interest rates right now, from what we've just seen recently, 3.25%, 4%. So even 4% versus your 100%, you're going to get 4% with a residual income, with a equity building in real estate. You get a 4%, and in a year, possibly refinance it. Right? Refinance it, get a lower rate, but we get you in at a 4.25, right? It's still better than paying 100% with no return on your investment. You're paying in someone else's pocket, and they're reaping the benefits, and now they're refinancing every couple of years. They're pulling out $30,000, $40,000, and they expect you to pay it. Am I right, Usila?
Yes.
Can I get a witness?
Yes, that is correct. Mr. DeVille is correct on that.
Yeah. We want to make sure we're getting this information to you, because when you pay rent, I want you to understand, when you're paying rent, this is what's happening for you. You are paying into someone else's wealthy pocket, and now the landlord, you're mad because they're selling, but guess what? Rightfully so, they're cashing out, and you've paid into the cash out. How long are you going to keep renting? Or are you going to contact DeVille Realty, 702-515-4100? Or you can text us at 702-787-7559. Now, Usila has some more information, and we want to tackle it because we're teaming this thing today to get more information to you, the listeners. Thank you, Linda, for looking in. Simi Richard, God bless you, sir. Good to have you. And so many of you, we want to continue to do what it is that we're doing. Yes. And
so we continue to speak about the down payment and buying a house. So there's still a lot of people that think that you have to have 20%. That's a big myth out there.
Yes.
It's really just serious misinformation.
Right.
And so if you're looking to purchase a house, you don't need 20% to buy a house.
Right.
You can put 3.5% with FHA. You can put 3% with conventional. And you heard that right. You can put 3% with conventional.
Yes. With a credit score.
Yeah, with a credit score of 680 or higher.
680. Okay, so those of you that have been doing well, and
yes.
Yes.
And even if you contact us and your credit is not where it's supposed to be.
Good. Yes.
We are able to do the simulator for you.
There you go.
And help guide you to show you this is what you need to do in order to get to this number to be able to purchase.
Now explain that simulator, because we have a question, and the question says, if you're on a forbearance and make the payment in full by the due date. If you make the payment in full by the due date. Now, if you're in a forbearance, well, now remember, forbearance is just putting that payment toward the rear and letting you take on.
Right.
Some of them will make you pay 3 months or however many months you're behind. They may work out something on a payment plan.
So on the, let me just answer her question really quick. If you are on forbearance and you pay your total amount due in full, all you have to do is make 3 more payments on time to be able to be considered for a refinance if you are looking to lower your payment. Otherwise, the loss mitigation department with whoever your servicer is are able to do to put that amount to the end of your mortgage so that you can pay it later on when you're looking to either sell or refinance or any other way. So that amount can be put at the end of your loan for later payment. But if you're paying in full, you'll be able to actually do a refinance within 3 months.
Oh, good stuff. So see, that's why the Greg DeVille Show is here. If you got questions, we got answers. 702-515-4100. Hit us live on Facebook. We've got a guru in the house, the lender, Miss Usila, who is very, been in the industry, as she stated, 18 plus years. I'm in real estate over 30 plus years. This is what we do. We help families get information. You're welcome. You're welcome. Yes. So Usila, you were speaking to, go ahead back on where you were, because again, these programs, you had a 3% conventional. Oh, I wanted you to speak to the simulator.
Yes, so the simulator.
Yes.
So what you do is you give us a call. You actually have to complete an application with all your information, and then we go in. So let's say your credit is a 620, and you have 3 credit cards that are maxed out.
Okay.
So when we do the simulator, it will tell us, okay, they have to pay, let's say it was $5,000.
Okay.
Let's say they have to pay, I'm just giving a generic example.
Right, yeah.
They would have to say you paid down by $3,000 to $2,000, both of them, and your credit score will be at 680. So when you do exact that, we have a 30-day window in order to do that for you.
Okay.
So when we pull your credit, we send you the information right away, and which explains to you exactly what you need to do.
Right.
And you follow that, you give us the new statements, we send them into the credit bureau, and this is at no cost to you.
See? Look at that.
It doesn't cost you a dime for us to do this for you, and then we rescore you. I have a client right now that needs to refi, but they couldn't because of their credit.
Okay.
And so we're working with them, and we should be able to get it in another 2 weeks to be able to do their refinance for them. Now,
I'm transparent on all my radio platforms. I had the simulator done for me back in 2015. With the simulator, it told me what I needed to do. Now, it gave me a 90-day plan. And the lender I worked with at the time says, you have to do this, that, and the other, and within 90 days, you should be good. Now, even with the IRS, there was some tax liens that I had to resolve or get on a payment plan. I got on a payment plan at least for 90 days, showing that payment plan, right? Now that you're on this payment plan, you've got some credit going, you got your payment plan in place. On the 94th day, my wife and I were certified to purchase our home. But the simulator gave us what we needed to do to get in position. So if that's you, you need a simulator. As Usila mentioned, very well. Excuse me. Go ahead, Usila.
Yes, so that the simulator allows you to plan, because sometimes I think that we think that we can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
Somebody's like, oh my gosh, I throw my hands up, my credit is so bad, there's nothing I can do on this, but that is not true. We've seen a lot of clients over the years,
yes,
in my case, for the last 18 years, purchase homes by guiding them. It might take you 3 months, it might take you 6 months, it might take you a year. And I had a client that I worked with for a year and a half, and he purchased, and he actually was able to cash out on their home last year because they built equity.
There you go.
If he had paid 100% rent, right, like 100% interest rate, as Greg says, by renting, that's not a benefit to the client.
Exactly.
The benefit is for us to be able to help you, to guide you to purchase a home. And on a side note, most people don't know that credit score, even your car insurance, is dependent on your credit score.
There you go.
So it's really important. Overall, your overall financial situation gets better if you work on your credit score.
Right. Now scores are very, as you mentioned, very, very important, because everything's almost predicated. As she mentioned, a good insurance. They used to do some redlining if you lived in a certain zip code, but now they've gone into checking your credit. And so I say this on my earlier show, and I'll say it again. I'm bold enough to say, pay your bills. Stop going out here getting stuff, and that money that you purchased something with to pay this. Be real with yourself, because you're just going around in a circle, not going anywhere. And you're going out having a good time, and you're spending money that was due to pay a bill, And now but you're having a good time. Well, man, I work for this money, man. I don't have to pay, and now you're mad at the bill man because he wants his money. So I understand Usila also that lenders are able to use to build a trade line, a score, if you will. They're able to use telephone, gas, insurance,
and even more importantly, your rent. So
there you go.
It's called non-traditional credit.
Okay.
So if you paid your rent on time for the last 12 months, if you have paid your cell phone bill on time the last 12 months, your cable, your gas, your electric, all of that is non-traditional credit, and we can use that to build on loan programs for you to be able to purchase a home.
That's good stuff. So there's no excuse why you continue. And if you're a veteran, if you're a veteran, you don't have a trade line. You don't have credit in the sense of showing. Again, Nevada Power, to get a letter from Nevada Power, you haven't been late for 30 days. Your landlord, your cell phone. We know you're not late on your cell phone. We know you might not have a house phone. You got a cell phone, right? Come on, keep it 100. And so your gas, Southwest Gas, I heard they're able to use the Southwest Gas, the auto insurance. Those things help build your ability to show you can pay. Because I always say no credit is worse than bad credit.
Right.
No credit is worse than bad credit. At least bad credit, I know you don't pay your bills. No credit, I don't know what you might do. So it's a gamble. So will you get a higher interest rate? Let's talk about that, Usila, because if your scores are not well, does that challenge the rate you get? Talk about that.
Always.
Okay.
Always. I mean, so you've even heard people say, well, I can go up to 580 on credit score. But reality is, if you have a score of 720 versus a score of 580, your interest rate is definitely different.
Yes.
Right?
Okay.
So the goal is always to work to make sure that you get your credit score where it needs to be in order to be able to purchase. And another thing that most people don't know, and I think it's so important to know, if you're paying rent, you can actually self-report. You can ask your landlord to self-report that rent every month so that it shows on your credit report that you're paying on time.
Okay.
And that, for future, if you're looking to purchase a home, will help you tremendously.
Wow. And so tell us how we get the landlord. What do we need to ask to get a self-report?
It's called, so I can get you the details later. I just know this for a fact.
Right. Because
I've never done it myself, but I've seen some of my clients with it. But it's called self-reporting.
Okay.
So the landlord can self-report your rent every month, and I've seen a couple of the property management in town.
Oh.
When I pull credit, it shows $1,700, and you're like, what is that $1,700? It's their rent that is being reported.
Okay.
And now you have a 12-month history
there you go.
showing that
Ching,
you
ching.
pay your rent on time. And so you be able to purchase a home.
Listen, Team DeVille, with people like Usila, we got so many lenders. Usila know, all my lenders know, we work with about 9 or 10 lenders because we have more than one can handle everything. So we want to help everybody. We have so many different come on our platform, share information. Someone has something different or shares it differently than the other one. And so we appreciate all our lenders. Those of you that are on the team.
It's not a competition.
It's not a listen, I tell realtors, it's enough for everybody. DeVille Realty, we're the largest black-owned real estate company in Nevada, but there's other companies in Nevada. And so there's no it's enough for everybody. Don't hate DeVille because I found a platform that I can get my word out. Listen, if you're a realtor and you're not getting business, come join DeVille team. We have no monthly fees. We don't have an annual report fee. We have one fee. It's transaction fee, and that's only upon the closing of a transaction. We're not like the other companies who charge you monthly direct debit out of your account. We don't have monthly fees. I did it because when I started 16 years ago in sales, I had to pay that $120 a month. And it took me 9 months before I got my first deal, Usila. I spent so much money. When I got my first check, I wanted to quit real estate. Because
I'm glad you did it.
Yeah.
That's perseverance right there.
But back then, they didn't debit your account every month. They had a log. And on a spreadsheet, you owe that $120 for this month. And every month, it added up. Then you were on an office split. And then you had transaction fee. So with all those fees, when that first check came, I'm like, yeah. But I'm like, I'm glad I did. I'm glad I stayed.
Don't quit. Don't quit. looking
You know?
to purchase a house. Look at DeVille. He stayed along, and look where he is now.
Yeah, we're having fun helping families. This is what we do. We praise God for this opportunity to share with many of you. Many of you hear us every week. You know, I'm on radio Mondays at 10 a.m., Fridays at 9 a.m. and 10 a.m. on Fridays. Thursdays I'm on at 3 p.m., Sundays at 2:30 p.m., and we do a ton of Facebook Live. So stay tuned. We're going to be coming back to you on next week. Listen, we're going to tune out of Facebook in just a moment. I want to give Usila some last information she want to share before we keep Facebook on here for almost an hour. I don't want to keep them an hour. But
I want to say thank you to our listeners. Thank you for our Facebook viewers. We're so grateful to have this platform to share with you. Our goal is to always, always help the homeowner, to make you a homeowner. So if you're looking to purchase, if you're looking to refinance, I am your girl. Thank you.
Lisa, Usila Koech. Give us your number, Usila, so those who may want to refinance, because DeVille, we're not lenders.
So my number is 702-812-8594, 702-812-8594. Thank you.
Well, we appreciate it, Las Vegas. We thank you for your time. Share this video if you will. We thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Greg DeVille, broker owner at DeVille Realty Group, along with the lovely, the beautiful Marquetta DeVille. We're having fun helping families. And until I talk to you Sunday at 2:30, you have a great weekend. Be safe. Don't drink and drive. Take care.